Every year, there's just something new, and that's part of the fun of coming here is the surprise. I mean, we've got stuff that looks like holograms now. We've got stuff that goes almost beyond 4K. Just stunning things. Plus, everything's not vertical and horizontal anymore, too. You've got angles, and there's all sorts of ideas that you can take back. For us, I always say we're only as good as our last trick. And you come out here and you say, hey, I think we could do something like that. And it gives you some ideas for some very special venues possibly on your campuses, things like that. So that we're always looking for something new, and we've never failed to find something that we're really interested in. I mean, we were in a couple of the sessions today, we were talking about possibly using beacons and Bluetooth, low energy, things like that. So there's always something technological that we can sit there and say, we need to think about that when we get back home. For us, and I would think that it would be that way with any college campus or university campus, is the value of that internal marketing messaging. For instance, we give each of our clients, which might be a college or a department, their own 80 to 90% of the loop of information is theirs, site-specific. We keep about 10%. That's going to be the weather page. That's going to be WVU Athletics. That's going to be WVU Arts and Entertainment. Those are the things that ties all three campuses together as one Mountaineer campus. But yet they have that ability with 90% of that loop of information to target market to their students for 4 years. And they love that idea because they're building that relationship with those students. Plus, in the event of something unfortunate, we have an emergency messaging feature ready to roll in under 10 seconds if the WVU police push the button. So, that's where we see the high value of digital signage there. Not only that, we're quick to market. Think about it. You've got digital signage. If something comes up, how many times somebody says, oh, so-and-so's coming to campus today. Within a minute or two, we've got an announcement up. Another thing is, if it's print media, it may be 3 or 4 months to come to market with a piece of print because it's got to go through all the approvals, it's got to be going through all the edits, it's got to go to a printer, it's got to be mailed. So time to market for this type of information on a college campus is tremendous because you can change it in a minute. We had a networking session for higher education at lunchtime over here, and I was amazed. The vast majority of them, there's probably 20-some there, the vast majority of them were first-time attendees to the Digital Signage Expo. Of course, I'm sitting there saying, well, now you started, don't ever not come, because this is, I started coming whenever it was still in Chicago. And so to me, we wouldn't miss it, number one, get here because we pack a ton of R&D all year long to come to this show. We see things here that helps us with that research and development of what we're going to do next, or if we have a unique situation we've got a plan for. So that's tremendous. But I also told them, I said, you need to crawl before you run. Everybody comes to shows like this, and it's invariably, too, these deans and department heads go to their own type of conferences. They come back and say, do you know what I saw? We've got to get this digital signage, or we got to get wayfinding, or we got to get a video wall or something. Well, you need to understand the basics of digital signage, get a few under your belt before you start jumping into something like wayfinding, because everybody thinks, oh, I want to be able to have touchscreen interactivity. And I want to do this, I want to be able to get to somebody's office, I want to go to the other campus. The only problem is they never think until the end of, where do we get this data? And is the data fresh? Who's going to update it? I'm not a data entry clerk, all right? They're going to have to commit to their own database management there to make sure the information's good. People want to do video walls. Well, are you going to do 4x3? Are you going to do 16x9? Those are all things that everybody wants to do, get a couple regular ones under your belt first. Come to the DSE, see all these pretty things that can be done with it, then talk to the people that know what they're doing. That's one of the best things that they can do. What I have seen, and of course the DSF and the DSE are very dear friends, and what's good for one is also good for the other. We don't live in a vacuum anymore. We don't live just in the U.S. We're a worldwide industry anymore. I mean, when you look to see where some of this technology comes from, it just doesn't come from the USA. It comes from all over the place. Not only that, digital signage is in tremendous places in the world there. We need to reach out and partner with others for things like education. Our digital signage experts group, for instance, there. When we're talking, the DSF has recently reached out to Europe. We're in conversations right now with Mexico and Latin America and South America eventually. And invariably, the one linchpin issue tends to surround education. They want the education that we have in digital signage to help them. And so I really see that it's a good challenge to have because we do have that opportunity to expand everybody's market, whether you're an integrator, a vendor, whatever, to expand your markets regardless of the size of your organization there. So I see that as a fun challenge to tackle there. Of course, we're also talking along the lines of education. We may have to come up with some translation things. So that'll be a challenge, but those are challenges we can get to when we get to. The other nice thing, especially with the DSF, we're really at that maturity level now to where we're able to really go out and look at things like board development to find those great voices in the industry to help guide everybody. And it's a fun time to be in this industry. I would say if it was one word about the industry, innovation. I mean, I come to Las Vegas. I can't wait to get here for DSE every year because you just find so many cool things. It's like, now we got to do that, and now it's just a question of how do we pay for it, but we want to do something like that. And just innovation is just tremendous there. And it never seems to fail that you come away saying, I can't believe that this is available now. It's just such cool technology. So it's just not an old TV or a monitor anymore.